Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be again it's going to be a different one. You're probably like, oh gosh, what is this video going to be about? Well, as I explained in I think it was my 20 facts about me, I definitely wanted to do more videos on my channel where it's just me. You get to know me, more talking, just me giving my advice, things like that. So today's video is going to be what my biggest fear in life is. And you're probably not expecting, or you're probably assuming it's something like public speaking or falling off a mountain or a building or, you know, dying a certain way. No, but actually my biggest fear is probably nothing obvious. It's a little bit deeper than what most people fear. And my whole purpose of this video was to, you know, maybe just connect with somebody out there and just know that if your fear is the same as my fear, that you are not alone, you're not weird, you're not crazy, and that I feel like a lot of us, you know, the millennials, which is what we're called, might deal with this. And you know, why not? As I'm getting older, I figured I'm gonna start talking about things that need to be heard. So that's me, that's your girl. But without me rambling on and on and on, and you're wondering, come on Alexis, what is it? So my biggest fear in life, legit, is the size of the universe, really, is not having a purpose. What I mean by that, and you might be wondering, like, what do you mean a purpose? Like, you know. What I mean by my biggest fear is not having purpose in life is simply that, you know, as I've gotten older and life has not gone how I've planned or how I planned to see it, you know, when I was 18, even in high school, you know, I think we all have this picture of ourselves at 20 and then 25 and then 30 and then 35 and then 40 and so on. And that picture, I will be honest, that picture of me, if I'm 18-year-old Alexis, picturing Alexis now at this age, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. And I actually came across a speech. It was actually by the founder of Facebook, which is Mark Zuckerberg, and he was giving a speech at Harvard University. I believe it was for the graduating class of 2016-2017, very recent. And just was scrolling through Facebook, you know, and saw this speech, and this speech really touched home to that fear, which is the fear of kind of, you know, not having purpose. Why do you get up every day? You know, things like, what makes you get up? Why do you get up? What are you doing that's helping other people? What's doing that's fulfilling your happiness, your purpose, etc. And I've had moments in my life where I wasn't sure why I was getting up. And it wasn't depression. I can't say full-blown depression. But I will say things like, why am I going to work today? Why am I doing this when I'm not happy? Why am I being friends with so-and-so if they're not making me happy? XYZ, you know, what am I doing to help somebody else and to better the world, really? That's how I see purpose and my purpose. You know, I feel like we need to give back somehow to the universe. So I came across this speech and I'm reading it, you know, at work. Maybe I shouldn't have been reading it at work, but I was reading it at work. And a few key points in his speech really hit home, like I said. And there's actually one part on my phone. Well, my phone actually kind of matches my shirt. Hey, totally didn't plan that, BTW. But there's one part here of the speech that I'm gonna quote, and I'll go through a few more to kind of relate what I'm saying. He basically says, purpose is that sense that we are part of something bigger than ourselves, that we are needed, that we have something better ahead to work for. Purpose is what creates true happiness. I can't really say it any better than that. I completely agree with that statement. And at 26 years old, I am on the hunt of what my purpose is. And your purpose, let me say something before people are like, oh, well, your career is your purpose. Your career is not your purpose. It can be getting you there to your purpose, but if your career is like being a doctor or a nurse or a volunteer or, you know, things that are actually helping people, by all means, that is definitely your purpose. You're helping others. But for the majority of America who works 9-to-5 jobs, you know, gets up, deals with traffic, you do the same thing Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, you're just trying to recoup from the Monday through Friday life. That is so, to me, it's draining. And I've come to that point in my life. It's drained me. And I've realized that, you know, there's more to life than working and not being happy and not knowing your purpose. If your work is your purpose, if what you do daily to make a living is part of your purpose, then to me you have found true happiness. But for those of you out there, since my fear is never knowing my purpose or never fulfilling my purpose, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that feel like me, where we work and we're not happy, or, you know, we're not helping others, we're not fulfilling ourselves, our purpose, or even our extracurricular activities outside of work are not fulfilling our purpose. And trust me, I know how it feels, and it's scary, and that's just my biggest fear. And every day, I believe it was like, I'm telling you, when I turned 25, I had a moment. I was like, what am I doing? I'm 25, I'm old, oh my gosh. You know, and it's all the only reason I ever feel like that sometimes is just because I haven't fulfilled and found my purpose. And I know so many people die never knowing or never find out. And it's a shame, because I feel like we can all give something back to this universe, this earth, this world. So it's just one of those things, like I'm on the hunt and I must find it, and it's just my biggest fear. You know, I don't want to wake up every day going, is this it? Is this life? Is it just surviving and paying bills and doing it all over again? Another quote he says in his speech that I like too, it says, he's talking about the society and how he is viewing society for his kids and their kids and so forth. And he says, to keep our society moving forward, we have a generational challenge to not only create new jobs, but create a renewed sense of purpose. And I'll actually, just to save you some time, I will link the speech below just so you guys can read the speech. It was great. It hit home. I felt like I was re-graduating when I read it at work. I was like, oh, I wish I was there. I feel like I'm ready to tackle the world. But I graduated like 2 years ago. So 2-3 years ago, something like that. So I'm like, but this is, I wish I would have heard this speech at my college, you know, ceremony. Because it was just so deep and so true, and so everything that I believe. So he also says in here as well, he says, as he's going on, but it's not enough to have purpose yourself. You have to create a sense of purpose for others, which I think is important. So I feel like, you know, you have kids and you have a family, you know, they go to you, or you ask your kids like, hey, what do you want to do with your life? Whatever they say, I feel like you always have to teach your children and all the younger kids and everybody, you know, make sure what you do, not only when you're happy, but it's helping other people in any form, way, or fashion that you see that as helping somebody, do it. It's not always just being a doctor or things like that. It's not always health. There's so many things you can do in this world to help others and give others a sense of purpose, if that makes sense. And then a little bit further down the speech, I won't read the entire speech. I promise this is not a reciting video. I will not recite the entire speech. I promise. But he says he's gonna go over, throughout the entire speech, he goes over three ways to create purpose for everybody. So, and he says, today I want to talk about 3 ways to create a world where everyone has a sense of purpose. By taking on big, meaningful projects together, by redefining equality so everyone has the freedom to pursue purpose, and by building communities across the world. I simply just can't say enough about this speech. It directly talks about my fear and what I hope to never, hopefully I never have to, you know, say, oh, I never found my purpose. But it's true. As I've gotten older, and even I guess my age bracket, you know, I grew up in you know, in high school, all throughout my like, not undergrad, my elementary years, you know, elementary school, middle school, high school. We never had cell phones. I didn't get a cell phone personally, and I didn't get a cell phone until I was a senior in high school. And it was the prepaid cell phone. So it's like you had to put like minutes on it, and then you talk, you know, and then like sending a text was a half a minute, opening the text was half a minute, then talking was minutes. That was how I was. That's what I experienced. You know, Facebook was new. There was no Instagram. There was no Snapchat. I don't think there was even a Twitter back then either. And even in college, my personal time in college, we had Facebook, we had Twitter, we had some Snapchat. Instagram was just kind of getting started. But fast forward, you know, 3 years later, 3 or 4 years later, and we live our lives on these things, on these platforms. And I feel like sometimes it can be a good thing and a bad thing that these things were created. You know, let's say you're having a down day. It's just a crappy day for you. And you go online, you scroll through, and you see just everyone having a great time, or looking like they're having a great time. Messes with your head a little bit. It does. I know it does. I'd be lying, I'd be putting up a front if I said, I never get, you know, bothered by that. Never. We all do. Come on now. So it messes with you. It's like, well, how come they found it? They're happy. Why am I not happy? So I think in the world we live in, which is so social media driven and how everything looks and blah, 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 it affects us, affects the purpose, affects my purpose. I'm sitting here wondering, what is it? You know, and who knows? Maybe me talking to you guys, to this camera, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I will say my whole message of this video is telling you that what my fear is. And that anyone out there who does share this fear, you're not alone. And one of the biggest social media founders, Mark Zuckerberg, spoke about this. And if you read his speech, it is just, you'll get it. You'll get what I'm saying. And it's just great. And I just, yeah, it's purpose is important. So yeah, that is my fear. And maybe you expected it, maybe you didn't, maybe you think it's stupid, maybe you think it's, you know, legit. Whatever you want to think, hey. But this is me expressing myself in a different light, because I feel like maybe somebody one day will see this video, and you never know. You never know what you put out into this world. You never know what's going to come out of it. You never know how it's going to be received. Who knows, you know? And I just want anyone to know out there that we all have purpose. Some find it sooner than others. Some never find it, but you have a purpose. And even I do. And you know what? Every single day, I strive to find it. And hopefully, I can't wait to make a video and be like, I found it, y'all. Can't wait to make that. But just know that's part of Alexis. That's part of me. And do not get discouraged by what other lives look like. We all have different lives. We all have different stories. That's what makes us unique. We don't look the same. We have different backgrounds. We live in different areas. But one thing we do have in common, I feel like, as a human being, is that all of us has a purpose on this earth. Whether it's big, whether it's small, whether it's supposed to be on social media, whether it's supposed to be just being a good friend, helping somebody from a dire situation, whatever it may be, just know that we all have some type of purpose. And if you ever feel like you're down, just like I do, I feel like I have my days, just take a moment, collect yourself, pick up your bags, you know, just keep on trucking, because I keep on trucking no matter what. So that's all I have to say before this becomes a, you know, 30-minute video, which this will not be 30 minutes. Just a little piece of me, a little fact. Yeah, so that's all I have for now, I guess. And yeah, I will see you, like always, on the next video. Bye, guys.